Free agency is fully here. It's a free-for-all. What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. I'm sure it'll take a few minutes for people to come in here. Shout out to everybody in chat. Stephen B. Alan Anderson, what's good? Aaron Blum, what's happening? Happy Tuesday, everybody. If you haven't done that yet, please get out and vote. I voted this morning, so we're all done. I was at the gym at 5. I was on the polls at 6:45, waiting for them to open at 7. So, Kal-El, who are you talking about? Legend in his own mind. JJ Jens, what's happening? Jake Boss. So there's a lot of stuff. I wanted to go over the qualifying offer list, and I think it could be revealing for not only the Yankees but other teams. So here are the guys that received qualifying offers. A couple of them are surprises. Willy Adames, Pete Alonso, Alex Bregman, Corbin Burns, starting pitcher Max Fried, outfielder Teoscar Hernandez, Sean Manaea from the Mets, Nick Martinez from the Reds. That's one big surprise. Nick Pivetta, another big surprise for me from the Red Sox. Anthony Santander, no surprise from the Orioles. Luis Severino from the Mets, not a surprise. Juan Soto, obvious, and Christian Walker. Now, so what does this say? I mean, to me, I don't personally see the Yankees going after anybody with a qualifying offer this free agency, this offseason. So you can, I think you can scratch off Alex Bregman, Pete Alonso, and Christian Walker. Okay, and so Aaron, his team has agreed to post them early. Okay, and he's already hired Casey Close, American agent. So, look up Casey Close, okay, and put in Murakami. You'll see that he's already hired him. And his team, the Yakult Swallows, has agreed to post them early. It hasn't happened yet. It has to happen. And we're also getting speculation now that Roki Sasaki might be posted early, which I can't see. Because why would his team – both of these guys would be subject to international free agency, meaning the posting fees would be gone. Now, Murakami's team, Yakult Swallows, is not likely to get the amount of posting fees that Roki Sasaki would get. Roki Sasaki would probably get Yamamoto-type posting fees, right? So – Close was Jeter's agent. And more news will come out on Murakami. But take a look and see. It's already confirmed that he's hired Casey Close. Okay? And again, to me, this list kind of gives you an idea. I mean, now to me, it's more likely that Alex Bregman will most likely go back to the Astros. I think it's more likely that Christian Walker goes back to the Diamondbacks. And I think Luis Severino is probably going to accept the QO and go back to the Mets, but I think Sean Manaea is going to move on. I think Willy Adames is going to move on. Pete Alonso probably will move on because he's of the age to be able to capitalize. And some teams need a first baseman. Corbin Burns is down. I don't think him. I'm not sure the Orioles are going to spend what it would take to get Corbin Burns when they can go out and trade for a Gerrit Cole or something like that. So, Goldschmidt, yeah, I mean, I like him, but he's not my first choice for first base. I think the Yankees now are going to pursue the trade route for first base, or if Murakami's posted, they'll go after Murakami. I think those are going to be the options for the Yankees. I don't think they're going to ride the Ben Rice train. I just don't think so. So, I think the Yankees can convince Soto to come back. Yeah, most definitely. Silver Fox, check out my free agent predictions. I gave my predictions on who gets Alonso. Love to know what you thought. Nico Horner, maybe. He actually said he would like to play for the Yankees or a West Coast team. He mentioned the Yankees specifically as the only team that he mentioned was the Yankees, Murakami. So I do think it's realistic. So, and they've already showed interest in him and Roki Sasaki. So, and if he's posted early, he's subject to international free agency because he's going to be 25 in February, which is after the posting period. So what does that mean? It'll be just like Shohei Ohtani. He'll be subject to 3 years of ARB, 3 years of pre-ARB. You can get him for 6 years on the cheap. And what's good about that is if he doesn't pan out, you can move on from him. You didn't pay $300 million for him. So to me, it's an obvious pursuit. If Murakami's subject to the international free agency, then he'll be 3 years of pre-arb and 3 years of arb. Pretty much the minimum. So salaries can rise in arbitration, but not in pre-arb. So a Kim, you mean Hassan Kim? I don't really think the Yankees need Hassan Kim. I don't think there's anywhere for him to play, in all honesty. But you never know. I mean, see, my guess is, what are they going to do? Because they have to either address first base, right? Or I have to do both, or address third or second. If Jazz stays at third, then most likely Caleb Durbin's going to get a shot at second. If Jazz moves over to second, then they have to pursue a third baseman. So either way, they have to address at least 2 infield spots this year. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty realistic for Murakami and the Yankees. Well, I'm confident that Alonso will probably go to another team, but I mean, obviously I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to the Mets. So no, Murakami and Soto is realistic. Yes. Yeah. I'm not. I don't think the Dodgers are going to go. I mean, I think they're going to use the Mets and the Yankees to drive up the price. So, yeah. Well, Kim, is he how many? Does he really steal a lot of bases? Have you looked at Caleb Durbin's stats? He's like a stolen base machine. That's one reason why he's so highly regarded in the Yankee system. It's one reason why Gleyber Torres is not coming back. I mean, he didn't get the QO. Soto did. So my guess is that the Yankees were worried that Torres would accept the QO, and then they'd have to pay him $21 million, which they didn't want to do, because that would make it harder to bring back Soto. And if you think about it this way, let's just say $50 million goes to Soto. You have Cole coming back, and speaking of which, Cole actually got permission. Okay, speaking of this negotiation, he's back with the Yankees on his 4-year, $144 million deal. They didn't even have to give him the 5th year. So they had asked for it. Cashman actually said no. They weren't comfortable doing it. So he got permission from MLB and the MLB Players Association to void that 5th year and just stay with the 4-year, $144 million remaining part of the deal. So he'll be here through 2028, not 2029. That's pretty damn good GMing by Brian Cashman. Okay. He wasn't going to get that much in free agency in the open market. So that's baller from Brian Cashman. So, it's a good question. Can they sign another ace? Right. And well, if Snell won't cost as much as Burns would in terms of years. So I'd probably go Snell. And keep in mind too, like yesterday I talked about how the Yankees can clear more money on the payroll without having to make trades. They can go the non-tender route, and there are guys that they could save another $12 million, because they're gonna have to save as much as possible. Like they have $100 million, a little more not coming off the books, right? Let's just say Soto gets 50, which is very likely to get. You add him and Cole, that's $86 million. How much do you have left to play with? $20 million, right? And they haven't addressed the bullpen or the infield yet. So expect some trades. I don't know, Wink. I know they were going to negotiate or talk about it, extending him for 2029. Maybe it becomes an option. Maybe it becomes a mutual option. Because I don't think he's just going to walk away from $36 million when it was negotiated into his contract to begin with. I don't think Boris is going to let him do that. By the way, we got 100 people in here. Smack those likes. Let's get over 100 likes. It's always great for the live streams. Always magical for the algorithm. And I thank you so much. So I think Wink, it might become an option 2029. Oh, King Solomon, please stop. Right. The goal this year was to get to the World Series. They got to the World Series. They're going to do whatever they can to win the World Series. Okay. Boone wasn't the problem this year, King Solomon. Yeah, Ken, the election's going slow, but I did get some news that Philadelphia, the way that Philadelphia is trending, the early voting is insane here, and they're looking to surpass the 2020 totals by 1 p.m. today, 7 hours early. So it's a good sign. It's a good sign. So I already got mine done, Ken. Got my voting done. I was there first thing in the morning. I was already online. I mean, I waited online at 6 something in the morning. So, but yeah, it is going slow. Okay, I mean, we got freaking almost 7 hours, so 6 hours before the first poll closes. So yeah, it's going to be nerve wracking until then. SG Sports Talk. What's good, SG Sports Talk? So that's the qualifying offer list. Now, is there anybody? What do you call it? G Money Harris. That was obvious. I have 3 daughters. There's no way I'm not voting for her. I'm not afraid to admit it either. I'm proud of it. So with this list, I mean, if you look at Nick Pavetta's stats, I don't know how he got a QO. If you look at Nick Martinez's stats, I don't know how this guy's got a QO. I really don't know. Confidence level in what, Mr. Brian York? Confidence in what? Her winning? I appreciate that, SG Sports Talk. Thank you, man. Confidence in her winning? It's pretty good. Pretty confident, Mr. Brian York. Pretty confident. Anything's possible, but this was an easy call for me. Yeah, Dave Carr, exactly. No, Wink. I mean, I was at the gym at 5 a.m. and then I went straight to the polls at 6:4. I got there at 6:45. They didn't open till 7. I was out of there 7:15. So, yeah, Ken. Well, we were just talking about the qualifying offers. Be careful out there, Ken. Be careful. There you go, G Money. Appreciate that, man. So my wife and I voted for her too. So Yankees have several spots, and yet so they added 3 guys to the 40-man. They've already traded one of them, right? And I talked about this the other day as well. They added an outfielder, a relief pitcher, and a catcher. Now, I looked at the roster after that, the 40-man already, and I said, well, they can non-tender an outfielder, relief pitcher, and a catcher. The outfielder would be Trent Grisham. The catcher would be Jose Trevino. The relief pitcher would be Tim Meza. And they could save $12 million. These guys all had, like Taylor Trammell, he's the one who was traded to the Astros for cash considerations. So they got some cash back, right? So, but JC Scar is a catcher. He's got like 4 or 5 years of control left. And then you got Enyel De Los Santos, the relief pitcher. He's got another 5 years of control left too. So controllable years, they could replace these guys that are going to be free agents in 2026 anyway, and on the cheap. So this is a way of doing it. Now, these guys might not be the guys that stay here and replace them. They might be here to just become DFA candidates when the Yankees start to add people in trades and free agency. Either way, this is that's the way the Yankees operate in the offseason. So, and it makes a lot of sense. So, well, this is the thing. I don't know, Alex. I'll tell you, yeah, that's right, go Kamala. I don't know if the Yankees are going to keep Jazz at second at third or move him to second. If they keep him at third, then they're likely going to call up Caleb Durbin. At the very least, have him compete with Oswald Peraza in spring training. If they move Jazz to second, I can see them pursuing a third baseman probably in a trade market. I think so. Well, damn right, Ken. I think. Look, I don't know if Scooble's going to be available now that the Tigers have made it to the postseason. I think it's less likely that Scooble returns. Crochet is another one. He's worth considering, but I wouldn't give Jones for him. Knowing now, there's another trade proposal that was floated on an article um, last night or this morning. Okay, and where is it? I've got it here. It has the Yankees trading Will Warren and Tristan Vrailing, two pitchers, to the Cleveland Guardians for first baseman Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor is has 1 year left. He's 27. He's bats lefty. He's got some gaudy stats, but he's got 1 year left on his deals. He could be a stopgap option until next year, right? Give the Yankees a little bit more time, and maybe even decide whether Spencer Jones is an option at first base or something. Gives him a year to play at AAA. So that's worth the considering the option. Check the pace, yes. Yep. What's good, Jacob Petruzzi? What's good, brother? That who? Striking machine? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. See, yeah, Castillo's. I would pass on Castillo personally. Murakami and Walker. Well, Walker got a QO, so I doubt he. I think he's off the list now. And he's 34 and he's got a QO. So do they really pay $1 million for the season? I don't even know if he can get that much over a 2 or 3 year deal. So I think he's off the list. I think Pete Alonso's off the list, and I think Alex Bregman's off the list because they all got QOs, right? So traded for who, King Solomon, and why? Cody Poteet, I think will get a chance, Jay. I do think that. So traded for who, King Solomon? Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Like, Nail is not my first choice. He isn't my first choice. I mean, I would look into Vinny Pasquantino from the Royals, 27-year-old first baseman. He's got like I think a couple years of I think 3 or 4 years left before he's a free agent. So so he's got years on his contract. Nail does not. So no way. Spencer Jones and no way. I would not give Spencer Jones for 1 year Devin Williams. There's no way. No way in the world. The only reliever I would trade Spencer Jones for would be Mason Miller. I consider Spencer Jones for. Not Devin Williams. Teoscar for left field. Dominguez for center. Move Judge back to right. If Soto walks. That's possible, Ken. I think Teoscar's going to get. I mean, I have him favored to go back to the Dodgers, but you never know if he gets a deal he can't refuse. And obviously, he's going to be cheaper than Juan Soto. So, yeah. Well, it's crazy, Bronx Bomber. Their number one prospect is a first baseman, and he's rated higher than Pasquantino, and he's projected to be ready in late in 2025 or in 2026. So don't be surprised if they move Pasquantino. No, I would not trade Spencer Jones just to get rid of DJ. If DJ had 5 years on his deal, but not 2, it's not worth giving Spencer Jones for. Not for 1 year, Devin Williams. There's no way. Yeah, Spencer Jones. Okay, whatever you say, King Solomon. Well, exactly. I'm not trading Spencer Jones. I mean, the only guy I would have traded him for would have been Tarek Skubal. But I don't think the Tigers are going to make him available. I think they're going to add starting pitching. A couple of starting pitching. DH, well, they have Stanton here for the DH. But the Royals can DH him, yeah. But I don't know. Level-headed speakers, you are low-key inspiration. Well, I appreciate that, Mr. Brian York. Thank you. I think it's important to remain level-headed. People are, willing. People are, of course, welcome to have their own opinions and so on and so forth. They can disagree with me all they want, but I don't see the point in overreacting. And I think it's important to get the facts in front of us instead of talking points. That's why I don't do talking points. I don't use other people's talking points as my argument. Because so many people do that, and then I ask them to back up their claims, and they can't do anything. They get picked apart so easy. And then I'll ask them what channel's giving you talking points. They won't tell me. It's almost like they're afraid to tell me. So, but I appreciate that, Mr. Barnyard. Sandy Alcantara is not worth Spencer Jones. There's no way. Jay, I don't know. I mean, if he's the closer, I'd say 25 to 30 probably. But don't be surprised. I think they're going to add a reliever or two. I wouldn't be surprised. AAA, Mark Wolfson, give him some time in AAA, just like Dominguez needed time in AAA before he came up. Spencer Jones will get time in AAA before he comes up too. The Mariners are going to shred. Yeah, they might. Well, the Cardinals are going to shed salary too, and the Rockies are going to shed salary, as far as we know right now. If Bregman goes back to the Houston Astros, John, I think it's probably 4 years, 100 million. 4 years, 100 million. I can't. I think he's going to cost between 25 and 30 million, no matter where he goes, especially on a 4-year deal. He can't even hit. Who told you that? What? Who were you watching, King Solomon? Sears. Sears is over at L.A. I mean the Oakland A's. Well, I know you would, Ken. At least you and I deal in facts and reality. Appreciate that. That's an argument that I would welcome any day. And all idiot. My ideas are my own too, Ken. So we're in the same boat, brother. We're on the same boat, brother. Same boat. No, we both don't like dealing with numb nut stuff. So I have a feeling Bronx Bomber, the Judge is going to be transitioned to DH when Stanton leaves. I would be surprised before that. Give me your metrics. Explain, King Solomon. Who's feeding you these talking points? What tells you he's not a good player? Hmm? Enlighten us. He's a better center fielder than Dominguez. Yes, he's rated higher than Dominguez defensively. He's elite. He's like Ellie De La Cruz. Yep. And he had injuries this year too. He had 17 home runs, 78 ribbies, 25 steals, 788 OPS, batted 259. So that's not a scrub. $200Ks. You want $200Ks? Look at Aaron Judge. He struck out 200 times. His rookie year here, he struck out over 200 times. Aaron Judge. You got to do better than that, King Solomon. Yeah, Jones needs a little bit of time in AAA. There's no denying that. I think there's going to be more trades than when it comes to the Yankees, Alex. I think it's going to be probably more trades than signings. But it's going to be a very busy offseason. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's here. Free agency's here now. It's unrestricted free agency. So, and we're waiting to hear on a lot of news. I mean, so let's see that. Carlos Santana's looking to play 3 or 4 more years. I'm looking to see here. Yeah, that's what we have right now. Well, the Sixto Sanchez is elected free agency. He's officially free agent. That's an interesting one. And Joe Jimenez he's going to miss 12 months with knee surgery. So Clayton Kershaw has declined his player option. No surprise there either. Big Ant, maybe. I don't know. I mean, who knows? And Audrey, that's a good question too. Or the future for Oswald Peraza. Like if they move Jazz to second, Oswald Peraza deserves a shot at third. But keep in mind, they have to replace Verdugo's offense and Gleyber Torres' offense. Jason Dominguez is not going to replace both. He's going to replace or be expected to replace Verdugo's offense. So they will bring in a bat somewhere in the infield, a good bat this offseason. Expect that to happen. Yeah. Yeah, I think Jones is going to be fine. Oh. Yep. Anthony Santander. Well, that's going to block Jason Dominguez, Pedro. Unless you're trading Jason Dominguez for an ace pitcher. That's the only way. But Santana, could you imagine if they brought Santana? I think if somehow Soto leaves, then they'd be aggressive after Santana or Teoscar. No. King Solomon, lighten us on Jason Dominguez, please. Judge. Yeah, I mean, Judge's stats are regular season stats are out of this world. So he still has to, he started to come on in the World Series there, but it was too little, too late. Well, Dominguez won't be blocked if Soto resigns because Dominguez can just replace Verdugo in left field because Verdugo's not coming back. So, Devin Williams depends on what the asking price would be. Number one fan. Yeah, I heard they're going to be shopping Stroman too, and Nestor Cortez are going to be shopping both. Murakami, if he gets posted early, yeah. Hampton, Warren, Lombard, Cortez, and Urena to the Guardians for a Naylor and Cade Smith. Cade Smith. That might be a little bit too much, but let me pull up Cade Smith here. Smith. Let me pull this up on the screen so that I don't lose it here. So Naylor's got 1 year before he's a free agent. Cade Smith, I don't know if he has enough of a track record here. He's only got 10 innings pitched, 16 Ks. But let me pull up his contract here. Cade Smith contract. Because that's important. Controllable years is important. It really is. Now, that is a lot. And he's got 1 more year pre-arb. 2 more years of pre-arb. So he's got 5 years of control of Cade Smith. That's a good thing, but I think that might be a little bit too much. Lombard Jr. I would probably pull out of that trade. And put somebody else in there if they're willing. I would give him Everson Pereira or something like that. No. That'd be an interesting one. That's a controllable year reliever. That's the type of guys. Expect the Yankees to probably trade for a reliever and sign a reliever. Really. But yes, Stroman is being shopped. Will be shopped at the winter meetings. Don't be surprised if he gets moved then too. The players have several weeks to accept or reject the qualifying offer, so they've got some weeks. I'll give you specifics here. Let's see. Deadline. Actually, now 4 p.m. on November 19th. Players have until 4 p.m. on November 19th to accept or decline a qualifying offer. I think they are still interested in Ryan McMahon, but I mean, we don't know if he's going to be available. Now, the Rockies are cutting payroll, so that might make him available, but we'll see. I mean, if you can get Ryan McMahon, then you put him at third base, you move Jazz to second, and that's, our infield just got a hell of a lot better. No. Yeah, right now, Dominguez hasn't done enough to show that he's the answer to everything. So, Mario, no, I don't think Game One is what killed us the World Series. I know that's the talking point fed by a lot of channels. No, I think the whole World Series. I think the second consecutive week off also hurt us. We picked the worst time to go cold. We really did. People keep going with that. Oh, you should have went with Tim Hill and Nestor Cortez and whatever. But there's no guarantee Tim Hill would have mowed through those guys either. So, and one of the craziest, if Tim Hill went in there and gave up that same walk off home run, people would still be blaming Cashman. That's why I don't do talking points. Murakami is a credible. I mean, he's a competent defender at Big Ant at first base. He's not elite like Gold Glove elite like Christian Walker, but he's he's good enough. Andrew Nardi's another one. He's got a couple controllable years too, Ken, from the lefty side as well. Aaron Judge, player, he's got to get better in the postseason. Honestly, yeah. Yeah, DJ does have a full no trade. Yes, he does, Ken. That's Ken's right. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So that's the trade proposal for the Yankees that was put forth by Sporting News, and that's the list of qualifying offers. And I think how it affects um, the free agency pursuit, not only the Yankees but other teams. Because giving these guys a qualifying offer, it's kind of increases the chance of the team bringing them back, at least for some teams. So, Carlos Santana, I mean, he wouldn't be my first choice, number one, but he's okay. He wouldn't be my first choice. If you can get Murakami in international free agency on the cheap, he's 24 years old. He's got 240 home runs, and he's only 24. So, he bats lefty, and we need a lefty bat in the infield. We do. So, and we've got to replace Torres' offense. We have to. And if you can get somebody like him with power, he can also play third base as well. So, which makes guys like John Birdie interchangeable. And if DJ stays here, makes him interchangeable too. So, the trade offer based on the sport is Will Warren, starting pitcher, and Tristan Vreeling, another pitcher, to the Guardians for Josh Naylor. That was the trade proposal that was put forth. Murakami is the first baseman from Japan. Yeah, from the Yakult Swallows. Yeah. Hiroki Sasaki plays for the Chivalati Marines. But yeah, Munetaka Murakami. Yeah. Dream off season is Murakami, Soto, Sasaki, and some bullpen help. I mean, that would be a crazy offseason. It really would be. And the fact of the matter is, if Sasaki was posted early, excuse me, and if Murakami was posted early, and you got both of them, you can get both of them for under 10 million total. You get both of them for the cheap, which is one reason why I can't see Sasaki's team posting him 2 years early, because they'd be walking away from probably $50 million in posting fees. No. Yep. Murakami does play first and third. Yep. I was surprised a little bit, Cam, but I can see the logic too. They were afraid that he was going to accept the QO, and they'd have to pay him $21 million. And is it worth paying him $21 million? I don't know. What if he had a crappy year, right? And he bet on himself and took the QO, and then he had a crappy year. Not only does he cost himself a contract next year, but the Yankees have to pay this money, and that could have been allocated towards the bullpen, towards Juan Soto, and so on and so forth. So that's the way I'm looking at it. But I was initially surprised too, Ken. Well, this is true too, Stephen. But yeah, I mean, Caleb Durbin's a better defender. Jazz Chisholm's a plus defender at second base. So yeah, highest paid starting pitcher. Corbin Burns. Yeah, that's not even a question. Corbin Burns. Yeah, Dominguez needs time to develop. He needs time to develop. So if he can replace Verdugo's offense, then we'd be happy with that. But again, we still need to replace Torres's offense in the infield. So, Jay, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate you for greatly Volpe's offensive game since Torres gone. But the possible. I mean, I think get a better defender there would make like you get a good defender at third, you move Jazz to second, you've got a significant increase in production in the infield defense there. So, and but I think yeah, I mean another leap in offensive performance from Volpe was good. I mean his home run went down, but a lot of his other stats went up. So I don't know yet if the Yankees are going after Burns. He's attached to a QO. I personally can't see them signing anybody attached to a qualifying offer. So I've done a couple with Ball Cap Sports, J Gent. I'll try to get both of them on here at the same time. That would be fun. I like those guys. I don't think Bregman's an option at third base now, Tony, because he's been attached to a QO. I don't think he's an option now. Padres? Who? Mario from Padres? Who? Peraza might get his final shot. He's out of options, so he's got to win it out of spring training. We know that Caleb Durbin's skill set is pretty good. So, pretty good. Well, I mean, if the Yankees trade Stroman or if they trade Cortez or both, expect them to add a starter. No. Cortez Jr. Cortez to the Angels for Logan O'Hop and move Wells to first base. Ken Rosenthal said that's an interesting one. Let's pull up Logan O'Hop here. I mean, you know, he is a catcher slash first baseman, Austin Wells. So, Logan O'Hop. Logan O'Hop, 24-year-old catcher from the Anaheim Angels, 20 homers, 56 ribbies, 240. So his stats are at the catching position are more robust than Austin Wells. Now let's pull up his contract here. Let's see when he's a free agent. Spot track. He's got 4 more years of control. So that would be an interesting trade. That would be an interesting trade because you wouldn't be losing Austin Wells' offense. You'd move it to first base. And at that point, you can even you can even try to get Murakami for third base and move Jazz to second base. The infield will look completely different. So it creates it's an interesting one, Jason. It's an interesting one. I think Luis Roberts probably gets moved this offseason. I think Garrett Crochet gets moved this offseason too. Yeah. Mario, he's going to be the starter in 2025. That's the plan. Alex Verdugo was a 1-year stopgap, and Dominguez is supposed to take over in 2025. Who's saying 2026? No. Cap? I don't know what the cap is. A good question. I think that they're probably going to try to get under 300, get under the Cohen threshold at least. And they can, but they're going to have to be active in the trade market. Like a trade like that for Cortez to the Angels for O'Hop, brings affordability to the catcher position. Moving Wells to first base brings affordability to the first base position. They just saved what 17 million. Yeah, I mean that's Hop's pretty solid defensively, Jerry. Ryan O'Hearn from the O's, huh? I don't know if they those. Let's pull Ryan O'Hearn here. Ryan O'Hearn from the O's. Now the Orioles exercised the option on him too. They had an option. He's been 264, 15 homers, 59 ribbies. I mean, it's pretty similar to Austin Wells' stats, production. Pretty similar. Just a little slightly higher batting average, but if you can get production like that at the catcher spot and move Wells' production over to third, kind of matching O'Hearn's, then that's a way of getting better without boosting the payroll. And I think that would be something that Hal would be interested in, Ken. If they can get better and not blow up the payroll, I can see that. Yeah, O'Hearn's pretty solid behind the plate. Glaber, a couple teams. I did my MLB free agent predictions, Santiago. If you haven't seen it, take a look. But Mariners are a good candidate. There are a couple other teams that are good candidates too. I gave my predicted team and I gave my dark horse team for each player. So it's I encourage you to take a look at it. Yeah, that's an interesting proposal there. The Cortez to the Angels for O'Hop and move Wells to first base. Ken Rosenthal, huh? Okay. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. What do you think the first move that the Yankees make this offseason is, gang? I wanted to ask you all this. Okay, now we got we went over the qualifying offer list, went over the trade proposal for the Yankees and the Guardians. We went over the Cole situation, which is a masterclass right now by Brian Cashman. So that's the question, CT Cars. We don't know yet if they're going to move Jazz to second because they want to try to call up Caleb Durbin, but to Ken's point too, he's in AAA, he hasn't played at major league level yet, so they have to give him time, which is why they'd have to utilize Oswaldo and John Birdie and these guys to let the kid slowly work his way up. No, well, that's the threshold, Ken. It's not a cap. That's the penalty thresholds. Unfortunately, there's no cap at all in baseball. That's at the first threshold level, I think. Well, Audrey, I mean, I think this is why guys like Naylor, like Vinny Pasquantino, like Murakami are going to be intriguing options because they all bat lefty in first base. So I don't think they're going to trade for Vlad Jr. Man. Mason Miller I worry about the cost. I don't. I mean, the Blue Jays are not going to. I think they're going to extend Vlad. I think they're going to trade Bo Bichette. That makes more sense. They're going to build around Vlad. I think so. But I mean, if they did Vlad, Mason Miller, and Murakami would be freaking nuts. Conman would be freaking nuts. Yeah, Soto for Christmas. Damn right. Moreno is a possibility. What do you think the first move, gang? What do you think the first move is going to be? By the way, smack the like buttons. We still have still have 100 people in here. I want to try to get over 100 likes. I appreciate yous. Yeah, I've got a lot more lives coming up over the next couple of days. I'll be on live with the Strike Zone tomorrow night. And then I have Ryan Garcia from Fireside Yankees joining me Saturday night. We're going to go over playing with Soto, playing without Soto. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be really fun. Bench coach for Tony Pena. Well, Brad Ausmus is pretty solid at bench coach, but I think they might move on from the third base coach. They might not tender Grisham. They'll try to trade him. And if they can't, they might not tender him. Yeah. Grisham, Jose Trevino, and Tim Meza. Okay. Those guys will save about 10 million bucks. Yes, indeed. They might, Jordan. I mean, that'll free up some money. That'll free up another 20 million if they do that. And Stroman's 18 himself. Cortez is probably about a third of that. And Trevino, I think, has made what 3, 4. So Logan O'Hawk grew up a Yankee fan. Really interesting. Interesting, Gent. Interesting. I like that. That's an interesting trade. Swisher for third. I mean, Swisher would be fun at third base, coach. If he's willing, that'd be an interesting one. It is a team friendly deal, and there's an option for a third year. It's a team option, so it doesn't lock the team up that acquires him. So I could see Stroman getting moved. You know, I would have passed. Honestly, I would pass on Arenado, just at the price and Goldschmidt. Honestly, I would probably pass on both. Goldschmidt's age, he's kind of on the decline of his career. I think Arenado's going to cost too much, even though Arenado's still pretty elite. Tanner Scott is 100%. He's my number one target for the bullpen. Yep. And I can see them trading for another guy in the bullpen. This is where it's going to be really, really interesting. I mean, it's the winter meetings are about 4 weeks away. I don't think the Yankees get Arias Santiago. No, I don't think the Padres are going to. Why would the Padres move him? Yeah. If we exceed it depends on the threshold, Ken. We're at the highest. We're over the Cohen threshold right now. Although with all the money coming off, then it'll reset. But if it depends on if we go at that first level, it'll be 30%. Yeah. There we go. More power 59. It's a huge penalty. It's a freaking huge penalty. Mm-hmm. Bernie baseball. I don't know, Jerry. I don't know if he's interested. I don't know if he's interested or not. Tanner Scott is a target. I mean, he's gonna have no shortage of suitors. I mean, I look for the Yankees. I look for the Baltimore Orioles. The Red Sox, Mets. So, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be interesting. It really, really is gonna be interesting. I think the first move the Yankees make is probably going to be a trade. A trade. They're gonna want to fill one of these holes. They really do. And when's the Japanese posting? Let's say Japanese posting window for MLB. The Japanese player posting window. So you have 45 days to negotiate. Yeah, we know that. When does it start? December, I think. I think in December, right? Start. So you'll have a better idea. And I said this quite a few times over the last week too. I hope the Yankees aren't going to wait. Just wait on Soto, and then just miss out on opportunities to fill other positions. That would be a huge mistake. Huge mistake. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Clay's going to go to the team like the Royals. Logan O'Hop and Taylor Ward, huh? You want to go Cortez Jr. and Will Warren. So you want to send him 2 pitchers for a catcher and an outfielder. Interesting. 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 Yeah, I think so. I mean, Soto's going to play this out, which is why the Yankees. I mean, they have the money. They're going to have the money allocated for him regardless. So, but don't wait until he signs so you can address the bullpen, so you can address the infield. Please don't do that. Please don't. You know, they have to. They have to. They have multiple positions that they need to address, that they need to fill. You know. Nice CT card, the Clay Holmes jersey, huh? Yeah. But that's where we're at right now, gang. This is where we're at, right? So Judge signed, yeah, I think you're right, Hector, in December. I think so. But he's also not represented by Scott Boras, and Scott Boras likes to ride out the offseason. I can't see him. He's got 18 players in his stable this year. 18 that are going to be free agents. I can't see him hijacking baseball like he did last year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this is Soto's opportunity. It's his right to test free agency. This is his time to cash in. So this is his opportunity right now. Mm-hmm. Well, who would those guys be, Jerry? And this is the thing, you don't get Soto, who's going to be if you keep waiting it out? Some of those stars that people want him to get, they might be gone already. This is the risky part. This is where the risky proposition is, right? So 18 pistol. Yeah, exactly, Rodney. Yeah. I'm telling you, Jake Boss, it's got to be that way. I would go under the assumption that Soto's not coming back, and I would be addressing other positions aggressively. Yep. That way, if Soto comes back, is just gravy on a fantastic cake that we've been building. I could see Helsley, Ken. I could even see a combo trade Helsley and Brandon Donovan for Nestor Cortez and Will Warren or something like that. I could see that as well. But I'm intrigued by this Cortez to the Angels for O'Hop. I'm intrigued by that. That's an intriguing one. I'm gonna look into that a little bit more. Yeah, Helsley is he's a good reliever. Mm-hmm. You could be right, Ken. That sounds like let's pull up Ryan Helsley here. Judge to right, and this you're talking about if Soto leaves. Martian center and Profar left. Interesting. Ryan Helsley. He's 30 years old. 7-4 with a 204 RBI, 204 ERA. 79 Ks, 1.10 whip. So pretty damn good. Pretty good. Now let's pull up Devin Williams here. Devin Williams. He's also 30 years old. 1-0 with a 125 ERA and 38 Ks. I know he had some injury problems this year too, but he's pretty damn it, Yeah, Tanner Scott's my number one CT cards. He's my number one in the bullpen to go after this offseason. If you can get Scott and trade for Helsley or Devin Williams, man, the bullpen will look completely different. So I think there's going to be at least 4 relievers don't come back. So Kyle Tucker. Why? You know what's crazy, Brian? I have a feeling that the Astros are going to let Alex Bregman walk so they can re-sign Kyle Tucker next year because he's going to cost more. Yeah, but Tanner Scott's my number one for pitching in the bullpen cards. Yeah, my number one. Oh. Who's going to fleece us? Tanner's a free agent. Rodney, he's a free agent. And he wasn't attached to a qualifying offer because he was traded at the deadline. He's not eligible for a qualifying offer, so it would just cost cash. No prospects at all for Tanner Scott, which to me is a good one. I think if the opportunity's right, Hector, they'll probably take a shot at Snell. Yeah, yeah, yes, indeed. So this offseason is gonna be really interesting. There's gonna be a lot of moving parts. Gonna be a lot of moving parts. But I'm curious to know what the first Yankee move is gonna be. I'm gonna pass on Bregman too, especially now that he's got a QO attached to him. I don't think it's worth it. You might. Well, I agree, Ken. You might have to add a prospect, not a top prospect. You might have to add a decent prospect to Cortez. I would add somebody like Everson Pereira, something like that. Add him to Cortez, kind of sweeten the pot. If you can get like a Helsley or a Helsley and a Brendan Donovan, that's something worth investigating. Or if you move him to the Angels for a hop or something like that, it's a worthwhile one too. So that's where we're at. That's the qualifying offer list. Those are the free agents. And again, I have some other. I'm going to do 10 bold trades on Friday for MLB. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about who should be back, who should not be back, versus who will be back and who will not be back. The Yankees. So that's going to be a good one too. I'll have NFE from the strike zone with me on that one. So we're and like I said, we're going to talk Soto on Saturday with Ryan from Fireside Yankees. So a lot of stuff coming. Ken, would he come along with the garbage? He might come with the garbage cans. Yeah, and the surveillance cameras in the walls. Hector, I think he probably ends up in Seattle. Yeah, they need bats. Their bats are underwhelming last year. Their pitching was great, but their bats are underwhelming. And they might trade one of their arms for a bat. So, and they have enough depth to do that, to get a decent bat. So, but I think they need more than one bat. They do. So, but let me wrap this up. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on. And your support really means the world, especially if you've been with me for a long time. I thank you so much. Hit the like button if you haven't done that yet. Make sure your notifications are all turned on because it's going to be a lot more information. Let me check MLBTradeRumors.com here to see if anything's popped up before. So if this is the last news, we can get you. The Blue Jays believed to have gotten under the luxury tax threshold. Go for the Blue Jays. Yeah, that's what we have right now. But J-Jen, I appreciate you. Peace and love to all ears. You are the best. Have a great rest of the day. If anything else comes out, you'll get it today. See you next time.